Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be doing classic CBSE Social Science Lesson 1, Geography, the Earth in the Solar System, Part 2. I hope all of you watched the previous video and you enjoyed and you learned everything. So today let's learn about the solar system and some of the celestial bodies. So what exactly is the solar system? Solar system is the sun, the eight planets, satellites, and some other celestial bodies known as asteroids and meteoroids form the solar system. So all these things together is known as the solar system. We often call it a solar family with the sun as its head. So, like the way we have a family and we have a parents or grandparents as the head of the family. Similarly, you can consider this as a family, as and sun is the center or the head of the family, with all the other celestial bodies being the members of this family. Okay. So what you see here in this picture, this is what is solar system. So first let's learn about sun. I'm sure all of you have seen sun and you've also learned a lot about sun. So as I told you in the previous slide, the sun is the center of the solar system. It's the head of our family. So what is it? It's huge, and huge means very, very big. It's really big, and it's made up of extremely hot gases. Okay, it provides the pulling force that binds the solar system. So everything rotates around the sun because it has the binding force. Okay, so that's why everything rotates around it. It keeps everything rotating around it. The sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the solar system. So, for the entire solar system gets its light and heat from the sun. But why is it that we don't feel it? Because see, the tremendous heat is not felt so much by us because despite being our nearest star, it's far away from us. So it is no doubt the nearest star, but even when I say the nearest, it is still very, very, very far. That's why, although we get this light and the heat from the sun, it is still not that near that we could feel its tremendous heat. Then, if that was the case, we would have all burnt, and it wouldn't have been possible for life to survive on Earth. So how far is the sun? The sun is about 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. So that's how far our nearest star sun is. Now let's learn about planets. So as we've all learned, there are about eight planets in the solar system. And in the order of the distance from the sun, they are Mercury. That means the nearest, this is from the nearest to the farthest. So it's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So if you see in this picture, the first one that you see is Mercury, and then comes Venus, and then the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Got it? So all the eight planets of the solar system move around the sun in fixed paths. So all the planets move around the sun. And how do they move? It's not zigzag. They have their own orbit. See, can you see these fixed paths? So each planet has its own fixed path. So this path around the sun on which the planets rotate is called as its orbit. Okay, these paths are elongated. So elongated means this is what the shape of it is. These they are called orbits. Mercury is nearest to the sun. So, which is a planet that is nearest to the sun? It's Mercury. It takes only about 88 days to complete one round along its orbit. So, there, I think 1 year would be just 88 days. Venus is considered as Earth's twin because its size and shape are very much similar to that of Earth. So, we are learning about two planets. Mercury is the nearest to the sun. So, its journey around the sun only takes 88 days. Whereas for us, it's 365 days, 365 one fourth day, right? One fourth days. And Venus is very much similar to Earth in many of the aspects, like its size and shape. So this is Venus, this is Mercury. So that's why it is called as, Earth's twin. Till recently, that is till August 2006, Pluto was also considered a planet. So, till very recently, Pluto was also considered as one of the planets. However, in a meeting of the International Astronomical Union, a decision was taken that Pluto, like other celestial bodies, discovered in recent past may be called dwarf planet. So earlier, in fact, when we studied in school, also we were thought that Pluto is a planet, but recently it has lost its status as a planet and now it is considered as a dwarf planet. So here in this picture, you can see some of the dwarf planets: Pluto, Eris, Haumea, Makemake, and Ceres. Now, some people pronounce it as Makemake and some people pronounce it as Makemake. I prefer Makemake. So these are the examples of some of the dwarf planets. Now let's learn something about the Earth. The Earth is the third nearest planet to the Sun. So in the order, it's Mercury, Venus, and then comes Earth. So it's a third planet. In size, it is the fifth largest planet. It is slightly flattened at the pole. So if you look at this part and this, it will be slightly flattened. That is why poles meaning the extreme north end and the south end. It is slightly flattened at the poles. That's why its shape is described as a geode. So it is not entirely, you cannot call it a circle. You cannot call it. It's the perfect word that describes it is the word geode. Geode means earth-like shape. So it is round, but at the same time, it is flattened at the two poles. Now, conditions favorable to support life are probably found only on the Earth. So, why is it that we find only on Earth? At least so far, this is what we know, that life form is not possible anywhere else but only on Earth. So, what are the conditions that make it possible for us to have life on Earth? First is the Earth is neither too hot nor too cold. That is because the distance from the sun is exactly such that it is neither too hot nor too cold. Even if it was too hot like Mercury, it wouldn't have been possible for any of the life to sustain or survive here. And even if it was very cold, even then we wouldn't have survived. So the distance from the sun is such that it's neither too hot nor too cold. That makes it possible for life to sustain. Next, it has water and air, which are very essential for our survival. You might have learned in your previous classes in your science that all living beings need air and water, and that's available on Earth. So that's why even that has made life possible on Earth. And then the air has life supporting gases like oxygen. We all know that we need oxygen to breathe to survive, and the air that is present in the Earth contains this. That's why when this makes it possible for life forms to survive on Earth. So because of these reasons, the Earth is a unique planet in the solar system. So in the solar system, this is the only planet, at least that is what we've discovered so far. So it's a unique planet because it's the only planet that supports life, and these are the conditions that support it. Now, from the outer space, the Earth appears blue because its two-thirds surface is covered by water. It is therefore called a blue planet. So imagine if, in case you go, outside, you imagine you're somewhere in the space and you're looking at the Earth. More or less, this is how the Earth would look. It would look blue. And why would it look blue? Because the most of the part of the Earth is covered with water. That's why it looks blue from the space, and that's why it is also called as a blue planet. Now let's learn about the moon. Our Earth has only one satellite, that is the moon. So, satellites are the objects that, revolve around the planets. So, its diameter is only one quarter of that of the Earth. It appears so big because it's nearer to a planet than any other celestial body. So, if you look at moon and if you compare it to other celestial bodies, it's not that it is the biggest celestial body, but why it looks big is because it is the nearest. It's a celestial body that is the nearest to the Earth. It is about 384,400 kilometers away from us. So when you compare it to other stars of the sun, it's still very very near. That's why it looks really big. The moon moves around the earth in about 27 days. So, this is how can you see? The earth is rotating as well as revolving, and the moon is moving around the earth. It takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. So, that is how much time it takes to complete one spin. That is one whole journey around the earth. As a result, only one side of the moon is visible to us on the earth. That's why we always see only one part of the moon. At no point of time can we see both the parts of the moon. The moon does not have conditions favorable for life. Now, if you're thinking why can't we live on Earth, that's because it's not possible. The conditions on moon do not support life. Why? That's because it has mountains, plains, and depressions on its surface. So, if you see, this is roughly how the surface of the moon would look. These cast shadows on the moon's surface, and these cast shadows on the moon's surface. Look at the full moon and observe the shadows. You can see, if you see the full moon, you can actually possibly be able to see all these shadows. Whatever shadows that you see, that is these the shadows of mountains, plains, and depressions that are found on moon. Now let's learn about asteroids. I'm sure all of you are curious to know about this. Apart from the stars, planets, and satellites, there are numerous tiny bodies which also move around the sun. So, of course, we know the planets move around the sun, but apart from planets, there are also other tiny things, that move around the sun. These bodies are called asteroids. They're normally found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. That is, in between these two, you can find them. Scientists are of the view that asteroids are parts of a planet which exploded many years back, many, many millions of years back. Probably planets would have broken down, and parts of it would be still rotating, moving around the sun. That is one of the theories, but there is no conclusive evidence on this. Now we come to meteoroids. The small pieces of rocks which move around the sun are called meteoroids. Sometimes these meteoroids come near the earth and tend to drop upon it. During this process, due to the friction with the air, they get heated up and burnt. It causes a flash of light. Sometimes a meteor, without being completely burnt, falls on the earth and creates a hollow. So meteoroids are small pieces of rocks basically that move around the sun. Now, many times what happens, these meteoroids come near the earth, and they fall on the earth, and they create an impact. Now, but many times what happens before it reaches the earth, because because it gets into friction with the air, they get heated up. And what happens when something gets heated? It gets burnt. It doesn't even reach. It gets burnt, heated up and burnt. But sometimes it doesn't, and it reaches the earth, and it creates an impact. Okay, impact doesn't. It will create a big hollow that you can see. You can see it on quite a few places of the earth. Now let's talk about our galaxy. Do you see a whitish broad band like a white glowing path across the sky on a clear starry night? So if the sky is really clear, and if you can see all the stars on the sky, you can see something like this. You can see one big band, broad band, like some white glowing band. So, what do you think it is? It's a cluster of millions of stars. It's nothing but a cluster, that is a group of millions of stars. This band is a Milky Way galaxy. So, this cluster of millions of stars is a galaxy, and the name of that galaxy is Milky Way galaxy. Our solar system, where our Earth is and all the other planets are, this is our galaxy. This is our solar system is also a part of this galaxy, Milky Way galaxy. If you look at the names of most of the galaxies, it derives its name from the way, or from the shape, or its appearance. In ancient India, it was imagined to be a river of light flowing in the sky. Thus, it was named Akashganga. So, in ancient India, people believed that, this Milky Way is nothing but it's a river of light that is flowing in the sky. So, that's why they called it Akashganga. Ganga is a river. So, it's a river that is found in the space. So, they called it Akashganga. So we learned that Milky Way is a galaxy. So what exactly is a galaxy? A galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. So in galaxy, what do you find? You find stars, clouds, dust, and gases. All this together makes up galaxies. And there is no one galaxy. Our galaxy is Milky Way, but there are millions of such galaxies that make the universe. In this universe, you will see so many galaxies. So some examples of galaxies other than Milky Way are Andromeda galaxy. So what you see here, this picture, it's the picture of Andromeda galaxy. And then you have Whirlpool Galaxy. So as I told you earlier, most of the names are derived from the from their appearance because it looks like a whirlpool. It has been named as Whirlpool Galaxy. And then you have Triangulum Galaxy. This is a sombrero galaxy. So it's nothing but sombrero means a hat, a kind of a hat because it looks like a hat. It is known as sombrero galaxy. Large Magellanic Cloud. So this is also one of the galaxy. And then you have small Magellanic Cloud. This is one of the galaxies. Then you have Pinwheel Galaxy. So it's almost looks like a wheel, right? Looks like a pinwheel. So it's called as Pinwheel Galaxy. And then you have Black Eye Galaxy. This also looks like an eye in the space, right? So it is named as Black Eye Galaxy. And then you have Cigar Galaxy. So see, this is Cigar Galaxy. So this is not there in your textbook. This is some extra information that I've provided so that it becomes interesting for you all. I hope you enjoyed looking at all these pictures and you'll do some more homework about other galaxies. Now, it's difficult to imagine how big the universe is, really. I mean, imagine if the universe contains millions of galaxies, and each galaxy contains millions, billions of stars and solar systems and everything. So we can't even imagine how big our universe is. Scientists are still trying to find out more and more about it. So scientists are still figuring out, how big is it, what exactly is there. We are not certain about its size, but we know that all of us, you and I, belong to this universe. So we don't know how big it is. We don't know too many details about it, but all we know is we are all part of this universe. We cannot deny that fact. So, can you relate yourself to the universe now? Now you learn so much about the universe, right? So, you are on the earth. So, this is where we are all, right? This is you and me. This is the earth. Now, earth is a part of solar system, which contains the sun, the 8 planets, and everything. And the solar system is a part of this galaxy known as Milky Way galaxy. And this Milky Way galaxy is a part of the universe which contains millions of billions of such galaxies. So imagine how big it is, okay? So now we'll understand how tiny we are really when compared to the universe, right? Thanks for watching. With this, we complete the explanation of the first chapter of CBSE Classics Social Science. In the next video, we will give you solution to textbook exercises and also give you extra questions from the lesson. Please watch, like, share our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos. Bye for now.